Hello and welcome back to What's Bubbling a ZIM. I am Dr. Abstract, and in this bubbling we're going to continue to look at what's new in ZIM 020. Let's go to the ZIM site now, zimjs.com, and we've already looked at the new site. Yay, that was a bubbling. And then our second bubbling was, if we hit the things that are new here, was this master prompt. So check out those two bubblings if you haven't seen them. What we're going to talk about this time, though, is the sort of main feature here for the for 020, and that is the chart module. So this is a new module right here, and you can also find it under the code, under libraries right here. It's similar to Socket, the game module, physics, 3JS, the pizzazz, the cam. The base is a little bit different. That's on the PHP side. And then there's chart. So this is an extra ZIM helper library, it's called. So if we press that, it takes us to the chart library, and on here it shows you how you can use it, and then there are the various charts that are available in the module, or indeed, if you were here in the what's new, here they are as well, right there, like so. Bullets is a little bit different. Bullets is built right in ZIM, but all of these other ones, the word cloud, plot graph, radar graph, pie chart, live graph, growth chart, line graph, championship, and bar graph, you would need to import the chart module. A sort of overall difference is it's a graph if it's on these axes here, like that. Otherwise, it's called a chart. We didn't bother calling that championship chart. Guess we could have. So there's the graphs, and the graphs usually extend. I think they always do extend a graph, and the graph gives you the axes there and the units, as well as a title and footer if need be. And then the live graph is on top of that. It extends that. And so the line graph extends that. The bar graph extends that. Championship is all on its own. And they also have widgets, or this one is called a legend right there. So the legend, you pass in the graph and it will make a legend for you. Same with this legend right here. This one is called a growth widget. This one has a method that you can make to find out which is your current match. So it's a little bit different. But there you go. And the pie chart, also the widget works the same. I think that's the legend one there. So we've got legends on most of these as well. Why don't we go in and take a peek? So this is a bubbling, and a bubbling says, hey, what's new in ZIM? Doesn't really go too much into the code. It can if the code's simple, and the code's pretty simple for these, but there's a fair number of them. Maybe what we can do is look at the code for one or two, but I do want to show you what they all look like. So we do that by clicking on it. They're not, for the most part, they're not interactive. A few of them are. I mean, that's kind of interactive. We've thrown the graph into a panel, and the panel is collapsible and draggable, so that's sort of handy. Same with that, and quite easy to do. It takes 2 minutes to throw your graph into a panel, and you've got something that we can move out of the way if we want. But there's a bar graph. This one's been adjusted to be on a dark color, and it's taking data in and plotting it. We also spent a bit of time working through how we could handle the gradients so that it makes the charts look a bit more modern and nice. So there, you can turn that off if you want. Note the gradients also come in on your legend. So that's a bar graph. Here is a championship, and that's a little bit different. So actually, I guess a disclosure, we've already mentioned it when we talk about the AI coding. I didn't really want to ever code a graph or a chart module, but AI's come along and we needed some practice with the AI to see how that was doing in ZIM as well. And charts are so well known that AI knows how to build this stuff. We could have built this with the ZIM connectors. Possibly it was always the connectors were made so that we could do this kind of thing. I can't even remember. I don't think I requested the AI to use the connectors for these. It knows how to draw graphics from one to the other quite well. It's a well-known canvas type thing to do, and we made sure that it used ZIM the ZIM graphics object and methods to do that, the tiny methods. But anyway, there it is. That's what it looks like, and it's been really handy. I've loved having this along. I've been doing these dances, and I just did this best dance song thing, and so I did this, posted it on Facebook. Here's the current match right there. We're on our last match. I Feel Love versus Blue Monday. Who will win? And so this is we can use this to make the current match, and then here's the results of all of them, and we update those as we go along. So that's the championship one for dance, and then here's frustration, so the most frustrating technology. So we're partway through here. I think we're on voice assistants versus TV remotes, Instagram UI, smart printers. Actually, we've updated this since then. I think we're coming close to the finals ones on here, but again, the match down at the bottom. So isn't that fun? I don't know if you've seen those out on social media. And then here's one that I was going to do as the example for this, but it was just a little bit too complicated bringing in the images and the best album cover things on ZIM. But so I left it in there as an example, but left the main one just, hey, here's what it looks like out of the box. Out of the box, there you go. That's kind of it. Okay, so like I said, we might pop in and see some of the code from these, but let's go through them. This one's cool. This is what actually got us wanting to do a chart module, because this looks so cool to see a growth chart, it's called. And here is a real growth chart, well, roughly real, showing numbers, AI generated numbers for the Canadian new media industry. And as it goes through the years, so if I hit restart here, starts at 2007, PC gaming is dropping, casual gaming is increasing, here comes mobile gaming is coming out. Oh, it's a play-by-play, interactive advertising, oh, here it comes, and these things are consolidating. Meanwhile, e-learning is just like up there in the billions, so that's pretty amazing. So e-learning is a large part of our industry, and ZIM is one of the best, if not the best, frameworks for making expressive e-learning. Not things like quizzes and stuff, like not text-based ones as much. Even then, it does well. But for any explainers or those types of things, simulations, etc. All right, so that's that one. And here is a line graph. So a traditional line graph, again, bringing in some nice looking gradients to that underneath there. Do you like? And what have we got here? Oh, a live graph. So this was fun to do. This is data, live data coming in. And you kind of see right here as it's making it, it doesn't know what the next data is going to be. So it's sort of doing straight lines, but then it's interpolating and making a nice smooth graph by the time it comes out, but you almost don't notice it there. And you can hit pause. Pause can handle two different ways. If I hit play, it's going to jump, and it jumps back to current data. But you can actually hit play and play from the old data. So I don't know, you could probably set it up so it plays twice as fast to catch up or something like that. But I'm not sure. Again, inside of these little guys right here, draggable, movable, live data chart. Cool, huh? And here's a pie chart. Nice. Oh, slightly interactive. So, okay, press and it stays activated until you unactivate it. do you like that 3D? There's all of them activated. We're looking right down from the middle. That's optional. It's also optional whether you keep these numbers going behind or have those come up in front. There's a title and a subtitle or a footer. And again, one of these guys. Oh, and icons. All these charts, in theory, work with icons for the most part. There's a set of icons, for instance, on the left-hand side. We could have iconed these. These have icons here. I think that was it for the icons, but they should work with icons. This one's a plot graph that is doing a best fit across those points and plotting it. Again, AI is good at knowing how to do that, whatever it's called, something regression or what, blah, blah, blah. And a radar graph, I remember when I was analyzing ZIM, AI would say, hey, do you want a radar graph that shows how much better ZIM is? And I kind of go, yeah. And then it would go and try and make it. And it would go, oh, well, upgrade your time. And then I can give you this graphic. So anyway, that was my first time hearing about a radar graph. So prepared a radar graph here. It looks okay. I've got another radar graph that I was going to use. I think it's in the docs examples, but it's a little more complicated. It's got more. It was actually based on, I showed, when did I show? In the last one, when we did the bubbling on AI, I showed Rank, which was an application of making with ZIM or made with ZIM that ranks things based on categories. So I did a radar graph based on that of real data. So taking the data from the Rank app and putting it into the radar graph. That's how we built the radar graph so that it worked in conjunction with Rank. Yay! So that was cool. But anyway, it's more complicated. So I just left the default. If you just ask for a radar graph, this is what it gives you. And what else have we got? Oh, word cloud. So happy I thought of this. Isn't that nice? So if I refresh here, there's a word cloud. And now we did this explainer vid, and the explainer vid had a word cloud for each of our programs inside a ZIM book, animated. So as you turn the pages, the word cloud kind of animates in. Actually, I think the secondary pages they didn't animate, but we could have made them animate if we wanted to. So there you go. There's a word cloud. Yay. That'll be fun for you. It's not terribly interactive. I mean, maybe you could make them interactive if you wanted to, but we didn't there. And that's it. And then bullets is something different. Here's bullets. Kind of fits in, but bullets was embedded in ZIM. We did that a little bit earlier because we actually made another app called scrambled pics, and you would use the scrambled pics for these types of things. And we wanted some nice bullets there, and ZIM didn't have bullets, so we added them in. Yay! All right, well, shall we take a peek at some code? So here is all of our code, and we won't spend too long on this, but this is a bar graph. So a new bar graph. We're bringing in ZIM 020 chart module right there. So that's how you do it. Can you see that okay? And as mentioned, we were changing some of the colors. So if you want to see that in light, you can. That did not do it. Comment these out to see on light color. Oh, I didn't save. Save and refresh here. And there it is on light color. Okay, so that's that bar graph on a light color. And then we decided to do a little bit of formatting here to show it. Save this one more time and bring it back here and refresh. There it is on the dark color. There's the info, and here's how we were handling. So this is going to be passed into the bar graph, but it will get passed right on through into the graph itself, which uses this kind of data. Or you can pass in an array of specific numbers, but that's a way that we can create these numbers along the bottom, and those numbers going from 0 to 100 along the left-hand side, 0 to 100 in steps of 10. And those are the days of the week along the bottom. And there's the data. And so here are the places where you could put the icons or have the titles. And then this is your data for the points or for the bars that go along there. And there's no icons, so no icons show up there. We decided not to put the data on the charts. I hope you don't mind, because our legends work so well. It just seemed to make sense rather than try and work out how to actually put all of the data in there. We did do the pie chart along the edge of the pie, but even so, we didn't put what the pie was. We put only the numbers around the edges. I can't remember. You may have the option to reverse that. I can't remember. So good. And then let's see, we made a panel right there. Info icon on top, collapse info icon. I don't know what that was all about. That's the panel with the graph going into it. And this is the legend. This is another info icon. I think we got that doubled. Bar graph. Yeah, it looks like we didn't really need to have this here. On top colon false. That's right. We don't want to pick up the graph right here and have it come up on top of the legend. So we told it on top. That was actually updated in ZIM 020, the ability to do that specifically because of this graphing. But I don't think we need two of these. Maybe that's all that's wrong there. It looks good, and I refresh here, and hopefully it all still works. Yeah, I think that's fine. So one panel right here that one panel right here that holds the graph, and one panel right here that holds the legend. And there is us making the legend. All I have to do is pass in the graph, and it will make the legend for the graph. Cool, huh? And this thing is on every of the ZIM pages. That is the top left-hand corner 020 linking back to the main thing. So you don't need to worry about that. Okay. So there you go. That was that one. Here's a championship one. So this is your basic championship one right there. New championship. Here's the data. And note that we've got nothing in any of these arms except for the last one, which has the word best. Best right there. So nothing, 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 best. Nothing, 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 best right there. And that's it. These are the tabs that link to the other ones, and those are the icons. So that makes the championship data right there. Oh, last scale of 1 is, I think, the default. Well, let's take it out and see if that changes. So the last one's kind of interesting. Yeah, that's a default anyway. But if you last scale 2, it will get bigger and fit like a nice big reward in here. And you can also flip it so that it flips backwards, for instance, here with the dance. Because that you're wanting to try and get this in roughly into a square shape if you can, and that makes use of the space that is in here. There's also other things that you can do. You can make all of these move up one or down, or even split. So you can make all these things move up, and that leaves a bigger space in the middle that you can advertise with. I think that's what we did with the albums. Yeah, so, or we did it the reverse. You can make it go either way. So with the albums, we made them all go down into the middle, and that leaves room here and room here for your champion. Isn't that neat? So you can kind of decide to move these things around to fit how you want, or you can make them all go up and have room in the middle for what you got. I can't remember what we did for frustration. Basically the same as the other one. I like that format just fine. Okay, so what's next? Do we need to do too much more? I mean, you look at the code and you can see what one might be of interest. Most of these are similar, and you can just go ahead and read through the code. Yeah, I think they're all pretty similar. Live is a little bit different. The growth chart is a bit different. We could, if you're scared of those, I suppose we could look. Here's the growth chart. So the growth chart has a bunch of data that is coming in with the year on it. And this could be probably live as well, but usually you know this data ahead of time. So that's a fair bit of data. You could have brought that in with a JSON file or something like that to handle the years. And then we're handling the icons. We're doing a lookup based on that data that match. So these names right here don't quite match the names of the data things. I mean, we could have switched them, but we just made a lookup table there. And then the part that we want is the growth chart right here. And there's the arrangements. Favor right is true. Some of those might be default. So quite often when we're giving examples here, we put the parameters in so that you can then pull, even though they're default, although usually we would say / default there. But anyway, you can read the defaults in the docs too. Favor right means you could make them so you can put them so that they're inside like that. And if they don't fit, they go away. So that's how we had it initially. And then we realized, well, we probably always need, we got the icons, but it would be really nice if we had the words. So then we put words that were right here. So the words were kind of closer to these. And we thought it's easier to read them rather than have them all over the place. It's easier to read them if it's on the right-hand side. So they stay on the right-hand side. You see that? It's kind of easier to read. This, I don't know, it almost looked like it should have fit there still, but maybe there's, once it goes past half or something, we favor on the right. Maybe perhaps that's what the favor on the right is. Okay, so anyway, that was that one. And the other one that might be a little bit different, line graphs basically the same as the bar graph. Pie chart's really easy. All these are pretty well the same as the others, but the live graph is a little different. And let's take a look at that. That's this one right here, the live graph. What did we do here? So there is the live graph. Here is the info. There is the starting. There's the data. Do we actually make data? I think that's default. So I think that data was built in maybe, or do we have the data somewhere? We're not bringing any data in here. Yeah, I don't see any data. I think it's just randomly making data based on, I probably should have mentioned something about that here, based on the fact that we don't have any data maybe. That's when it starts and steps. So that's setting up your data for the boundaries or the axes there. This is the data. Item CPU, yeah, no, time step 0.5, smooth thickness. Anyway, we did have it so that you can read in data from a remote page. This one specifically is set up. Let's see if we put in any information in the docs on that. So if we go to the docs and type in live chart, oh, it didn't find it. Chart. Pie chart. Live graph. Oh, I see. That's why I didn't find it. So there's the live graph. And here is an example. There's another one. That's the same kind of data. So what does it say about data? An array of objects with data and V things. How do we actually get the information in? Max data, number of things, decimals, axis, info, size, data, color, data size, font, color, gradients, colors, footers, smooth, thickness, time, step, source. There it is. Okay, so you pass in a source, and that would be your external data source. So let's see what, oh, it doesn't really say much about the source. Yeah, can you guess who made these? So remember we had AI? So we were in VS Code and we had whatever in VS Code is, the agents in VS Code. So that would be Copilot, make the data for us. And it did a very good job, but not as good a job as us. So we'll definitely come back in here. It looks like we didn't expand upon the format of the data, for instance, and our example doesn't have it. So we'll fix that up. My apologies for sure. We did go into many of these and update them, but most of them were pretty straightforward. It was just charts or graphs. So, hey, here it is. And then the example had an example of the data. So we're pretty good there. This one's different. This is the word cloud. So let's take a look at the word cloud here. And here we've got word examples. So what we did here is we copied the text from our innovation page and we saved it as a long string. And we pass that into the word cloud. So under words. So we just pass the whole big long string in, and the word cloud calculates all the frequencies. But not that it takes that much time. It was fine. It's pretty well instant. But you don't want to, every time somebody looks at it, recalculate those things. So what would be better is if you had a way to, well, take what was calculated and put it in as data. So we do. We have a method, and so that method is called cloud. So you still put the whole text in to your cloud, and then you run afterwards JSON stringify cloud.prepare word data with all of the words. And that built us this right here. Boop. There you go. So now it doesn't have to go through and calculate all the frequencies and stuff. And you can put a limit on there, and you can say what to exclude. So we had certain ones that we noticed. So what we did is we ran it and we went, oh man, you know, it's got these words in it that are coming up too much and we don't really need them there. So we said, let's take that one out, let's take that one out, let's take that one out. And you can pass that exclude in there. There's already an exclude that happens, things like for the for the of, you know, etc. Those ones are already excluding. Okay, so you can have a read through that. That gets us our words frequency, and from now on, we're passing that into the word cloud and doesn't have to process it. And we're also animating in the cloud as well. Isn't that cool? Cloud.animate. We probably could have done that just like that, I would imagine. If we wanted to. But anyway, cloud.animate and the alpha from 0, so true for from 0 to 1 in a time of 0.3 with a sequence. So that will do each word in that sequence. And here it comes. Ready? So that's animating in. We could have also animated the scale in so that they all scale into place as well. That looked pretty cool too, but I like just fading in was fine. Nice. Yay, ZIM. I mean, wow. Cool. All right, so there you go. That was a look through, or a bubbling through the various chart modules. You also have under the code here the chart module right there, but a package for it. So the chart module is a ZIM package as well, or an NPM, a Node Package Manager package, if you want to use it that way. There's all the templates for including ZIM in those guys there. Yay! And once again, down in the chart module right here, any information in the chart page itself. So there's how to import it or see, oh crap, there's the node package right there. Here are the charts, same examples. Yeah, and that's about it. As soon as we do some bubbling videos as well, we'll put the videos under here as well. So you can see a bunch of videos will show up in here as well. We don't have those at the moment, these very videos that we're making. Yay! I'm Dr. Abstract, and this has been a What's Bubbling at ZIM. We just took a look at probably the biggest one for this set. That was our chart module. A heck of a lot of work. We were at that for months. AI helped us a lot. And we'll still tidy that up a bit with respect to the docs and stuff. That was, like I said, a heck of a lot of work, a lot of wrangling about to handle all of that. So I hope you enjoy it and can make some charts that will help you in your industry. Cheers. Let us know on the forum how you're doing. Bye-bye.